We'll chant Om 3 times followed by the invocation shlokas. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. So we are studying chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, the title is called as Akshara Brahma Yoga. Now, in Akshara Brahma Yoga, why is this called Akshara Brahma Yoga? In the beginning of this lesson, what we saw was that Arjuna asked a bunch of questions, right? Kim tat Brahma, kim adhyatmam, kim karma, adibhutam, Adidevam, then what else he asked? Adhiyajnaha, Adhiyajna Kotra, Katham Kotra Dehasmin Masudana, Pranakale Chepi, Katham Neyosi, Niyatatma. So here, when he asked questions about like what is Brahman, what is Adhyatma, what is karma, etc., what's Lord Krishna's response is, they're all different aspects of Parabrahman alone. And then, of course, he started talking about the he focused on what is the Prayana Kalepi. Okay, what is Prayana Kala means. And then he started telling us about how one should start thinking about Bhagwan at the time of death. And to think about Bhagwan's name at the time of death, we should always be able to think about his name throughout the life. And of course, how do we think about Lord's name throughout the life is trying to see Bhagwan everywhere. So that's why, like, the first question, like, what is Brahman, what is Adhyatma? Adhyatma means Adhyatma, Adibhuta, Adideva. Adibhuta means everything that is around us is Bhagwan alone. Everything in our heart is also Bhagwan alone. Anything that is at Sthula Prapancha level, Sukshma Prapancha level, Karna Prapancha level, everything around is Bhagwan alone. When we have that understanding, then whatever we see, we only see Bhagwan. That's why the idea that he gave. And then, why should you think about Bhagwan at the last minute? What is the importance of reaching Bhagwan? That's also covered. He said that If you, our last thought decides where we go. If our last thought is about Bhagwan, we will reach Bhagwan. If our last thought is about something else, we may reach there. Okay, not in the exactly the same way that we want to reach, but in some way or other, we are going to reach there. When we do that, uh, what happens? Uh, if we reach anything else, we may come back to life and we will be stuck in this life. However, by thinking about Bhagwan, we will reach the God's abode, right? Lord's abode. And once you go there, there is no return back. That is why it said, right? To illustrate this point, what did he say? He said that this world, right? I mean, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka, everything up to Brahma Loka, Brahmaji's Loka, all of that is just you. If you go, you are likely to come back. Even Brahmaji is a appointed position, and all the jivas, what does he do every night when he goes? He has a big lifespan, and every night he goes to sleep. Pretty much 10 out of 14 lokas are dissolved, right? It's about and when those are dissolved, all the jivas are going to avyakta, meaning like unmanifest state, and whether you like it or not, you as a jiva I go to unmanifest state. And then when Brahmaji wakes up, when he creates, whether I like it or not, again I get manifested. And then I go on with our life. So now this is what is happening. Okay. So now the in the next shloka, so we will actually go to the next shloka. In the next shloka, what happens is that this not capability, but this aspect where we don't have any freedom of choice in terms of our birth and death, that is highlighted. Okay, so this is the 19th shloka. We will chant now. So first I'll break down the words and then we will chant. Okay, Bhuta Gramaha. So Bhuta and Gramaha together, Bhuta Gramaha. Sa Evayam भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्यागमे वशः. That word raत्र्यागमे वशः has got 3 words in them. Ratri, agame, avashah. So ratri and agame together becomes raत्र्यागमे. Raत्र्यागमे and avashah becomes ratragame vashah. Partha Prabhavatyharagame. So that one has got again 3 words. Prabhavati, Ahaha, Agame. Prabhavati and Ahaha become Prabhavatyaha. And joining with Agame, it will become Prabhavatharagame. Okay, so one of you, please unmute yourself, but everyone chant, please. Okay, whether you're on mute or unmute. भूतग्रामस्य एवायम्
भूतग्रामस्य वायम्
भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते
भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते
रात्रागमे वशः पार्थ.
रात्यागमेव स प्राता.
It is Partha and
Partha.
1 second. Also, Vashaha and Partha will make sound uff and pa. Okay, so Ratragame Vashaf Partha. Okay.
रात्र्यागमेव स पार्था.
Okay, so yeah. Ratragame Vashaf Partha.
रात्र्यागमेव स प्राता.
Partha.
पार्था. पार्था.
Prabhavatyah ragame.
प्रभवत्यः Pratyaragame.
So here, Bhutagramaha. Bhutagramaha is Bhuta Samudaya Stavara Jangama Lakshana Yat Purvasmin Kalpe Asit Sayeva Ayam Na Anyaha. See, what happens is that when Brahmaji starts creation, we start thinking that Brahmaji is creating. So the word creation itself is false. Okay? This Bhutagramaha, Bhutas meaning Jivas. Okay? Grama in our languages, in many Indian languages, grama means village. Right? Whether it is South Indian or North Indian, gram means village. Now, Bhuta village means what? Collection of houses or collection of things. So grama. So Bhuta grama means collection of beings. Okay, these Bhuta Samudaya. Whether they're Stavara or Jangama. Stavara means one that don't move, and Jangama means one that moves. So that means whether they are inert or uh, alive. That is one way of understanding. And Stavara Jangama can also be depending on how we think, it can also be sometimes thought about as Stavara is immovable and Jangama is movable. So immovable means even plants are immovable. Jangama means like animals and humans, etc. We are all moving beings. So immovable beings and moving beings. Thavara Jangama Lakshana. Ya Purvesmin Kalpe. So whichever there in the Purva Kalpa. Purva Kalpa means before Brahmaji went to sleep. Saeva Ayam na Anyaha. They alone are coming back, nothing else. So that means Brahmaji is not creating anything. So think about this way, right? Imagine a stage. On stage, especially like when children are playing a drama or something, what happens? Whether if there are 30 kids in the class, all 30 kids have to make it should be the part of the play. Otherwise, parents will be up in arms with the teacher. Now, everyone will get a role. Now, when everyone gets a role, everyone should also have a dialogue, some dialogue. So, now, obviously, 30 kids cannot be speaking at the same time if it's a play. Okay? If it's a group song or something, it's a different story. Then, what happens? Either the other kids should wait. Some kids may be waiting for their turn to speak, and some kids may actually leave and come back. Okay, leave the stage and come back. So now imagine a stage with a back curtain. Okay, now someone is coming, bunch of people are on the stage, someone is leaving the stage, exiting the stage from right, and someone is entering the stage on the left. Okay, so these 30 kids alone are coming and going. There are no additional students coming in. Okay, no new students are coming. No existing students are leaving. Okay, they're just rotating, circulating before the stage, in front of the stage and behind the stage. Okay, this is exactly what is happening with our jivas also. We are either unmanifest or manifest. When we are manifest, okay, sometimes same kid may take multiple roles also. In previous scene, he could be Vishwamitra, if it's the Ramayana story, imagine if it's the Ramayana story. And then once the Vishwamitra's portion is over, then he himself, because he already has a dadi and everything, next scene he could be Agastya or Vasishta or any other Rishi later on. Okay. So like that, you recycle the same kid for multiple roles. So in the same way, we are also recycling between different lives. Okay, lives as in like not necessarily human beings, it could be in any type of human being. And then we are going. Okay. So that is said in the next one. Bhutva bhutva aharagame. Aha means in the morning, daytime. Okay. So daytime of who? Daytime of Brahmaji. Okay. We are coming up. Praliyate punah punah. Again, like we dissolve again. Okay. So that means we are coming and we are being dissolved. Dissolved means manifestation and unmanifestation. When Ratragame, Aharagame, we are being born, manifested. Ratriagame, we are unmanifested. Ahnakshaye avashaha. As, astat, aswatantra eva. He partha, prabhavati jayati avasha eva aharagame. So here, when you, when we are coming and going, there is this word, aswatantraha. Okay. Avashaha. In the shloka, the word is avasha. Avasha means aswatantra. Aswatantra means we have no freedom. We have no independence. Okay? We have no free will. Free will. Here, when I talking about free will, we are bound by our karmas. And we have to go through our karma phala, results of our actions. So there we don't have any free will. All we can try to do is get rid of our karma phala, get rid of our vasanas and try to become one with Lord. Otherwise, we are stuck like this. Okay. So this is the idea of this shloka. Bhuta Grama. Grama is collection of all beings which are currently in existence as a result of when Hiranyagarbha, Brahmaji is born. Okay. So now, and these all beings are brought up and dissolved. Okay. Now, one of the things is that we say, like we calculated in a couple of sessions ago, that Brahmaji's lifetime for each day, I mean, like Brahmaji's day is 8.6 billion years for each day of Brahmaji. And now it is said that the current age of Brahmaji, of current Brahmaji, okay? Current Brahmaji, that means they're not previous Brahmajis, okay? So there are so many other previous Brahmajis and there will be several future Brahmajis. So, and then we as Jivas were there in previous Brahmaji's lifetime also, not just this Brahmaji's lifetime. And if one day is 8.6 billion years and he already lived, okay, so, and it is said that the age of current Brahmajis is 50 years and first day, like 50 years are complete after of 100 years and it is the first day and it is afternoon. How many lives, how many times must we have been born and dead? When I look at the number of times I must have born and dead, what is my current life? My current life is utterly insignificant. And every time I'm reborn, Bhagwan is responsible for finding right body for me and creating right circumstances to exhaust my vasanas, to exhaust my prarabdha. Okay? And that is his responsibility. And that is his responsibility in the sense like, our vasanas have to be exhausted and there will be some situation where our vasanas can exhaust. Unfortunately, what is happening is while we are exhausting our vasanas, we are accumulating more vasanas. And how do I get rid of these vasanas? That was talked in chapter 2 and chapter 3 by performing Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, again, just a quick reminder, Karma Yoga is performance of our duties alone, number one. Okay, nothing else but duties. Second thing is, when we perform, don't expect any specific result. Don't crave for a specific result from this performance of our own duty. That is second aspect. And what should be the attitude when we are performing the karma? That I am doing it for Bhagwan. So I'm not doing it for me, but I'm doing it for Bhagwan, for the sake of Bhagwan, as a representative of Bhagwan, because everything around me is Bhagwan alone. That is called as Ishwararpana Buddhi. Okay. And this is during the performance. When the results come, how should our attitude be? Prasada Buddhi. That means whatever has been given, whether it is conducive to my happiness or not, whatever result has come, that is Bhagwan's Krupa, His grace. So, so be it. Okay. I don't have the big picture because we saw, right? We- How many lives we must have born and died. So he has to create right circumstances for exhausting our vasanas. So just because I did not get my wish fulfilled, even if I have done everything right, doesn't mean that he is wrong or something. But this is more or less set up in the larger scheme of things. All of these results are meant to help me exhaust my vasanas. Okay, so this is the uh, understanding that we must have. So, any questions on this before we go to the next shloka?
Venkat, you said day and night of Brahmaji and all that stuff, and he's currently at 50 years, and one day is actually progressing.
Mhm.
But every night, right? What you also said is that everything will be combining with God and all that stuff. What will happen to after one Brahmaji's lifetime? What is the difference that happens? Is it not the same as every night, or is it
It,
different?
it is same as every night, but with a slightly different, right? So, we talked about Chaturdasha Bhuvanani, 14 planes of existence, a couple of sessions
Oh,
ago. And there, every night, what happens is the 10 out of 14 are dissolved on a nightly basis, whereas at the end of his lifetime, all 14 are dissolved. That is number one. First difference. Second difference is that what is his daytime? It is 4 billion years. That's what we said. And
mhm.
so when he is working for 4 billion years, when the night comes, everything goes unmanifest. Okay, so uh, when everything goes into unmanifest form, it is like that for again for 4 billion years.
Yeah.
Okay, now his lifetime, we talked in terms of some hundreds of trillions of years. Okay, so again, when he completes his lifetime, that many years, again, let's say it is 300 trillion years. I think it's something like that. I don't have the exact number, but that 300 trillion years, again, it is in unmanifest state. But again, we come back again, everything starts and like it keeps on going. That is the difference. So one is called as Naimittika Pralaya, okay, every nightly dissolution. And when Brahmaji completes his term, it is called Prakritika Pralaya. Okay? No,
One
it
more
is not
question.
same Brahmaji. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, no, please continue. Yes, saying that.
No, no, it is not same Brahmaji. Brahmaji or Hiranyagarbha is born Jnani. So he Brahmaji doesn't have any sense of karma and karma phala. Okay, I'm doing this, I should get this result or anything like that. Nothing touches him. And he again becomes merged with Bhagwan, and another Jnani will become a Brahma, and he will continue. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah.
One more question related.
Mhm.
Let's say if we exhaust our vasanas in this lifetime, and what we are learning is we will unite with God, right? Something like it. Then, when Brahmaji night comes and day comes, do we manifest again and go through the same cycle,
No,
or? Okay, no. And then what happens after Brahmaji's lifetime? Do we come back again? So.
Sorry. Okay. So the thing is that I mean, like, what our Shastras say is that, again, like actually, we're going to see in the next couple of shlokas. You're asking what we are going to cover in a couple of shlokas. Actually,
Then
we
we'll wait back.
we,
We'll
we
wait.
we will.
We'll wait. Yeah.
Why don't I table this and like start
Yeah.
with the
No, no,
shloka?
please, please.
It
Yeah,
it
yeah.
will cover basically what you're asking.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
So, so the 20th shloka will break down the words. Parastasmatu. Okay. Parastasmatu. So that word has got three words in there. Paraha, tasmat, and tu. Paraha and tasmat will become parastasmat, and combined with tu, it becomes parastasmatu. Okay. Bhavo anyo vyakto vyakta sanatanaha. There is one word. Okay. The breakdown of that is bhavaha anyah avyaktaha avyaktat sanatanaha. So there are five words are there. Bhavaha and anyaha becomes bhavonyaha. Tasma parastasma tu bhavonyaha. So bhavonyaha. So there put a break. Okay, so that's where we are going to break. Bhavonyaha avyaktaha avyaktat. So that will become avyaktat and sanatanaha. So avyaktat sanatanaha. That's how we chant. So parastasmatu bhavonyaha avyaktat sanatanaha. That's how we break those. Okay. Yaha sa sarveshu bhuteshu nashayatsu na vinashyati. So all of them are single words. So there's no breakdown needed, further breakdown needed. Okay. So one of you, please go off mute and repeat after me. Everybody else chant while being on mute. Parastasmatu parastasmatu bhavonyaha
परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यः
avyaktat sanatanaha
अव्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः
yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
यस्य सर्वेषु भूतेषु
nashayatsu na vinashyati. Sorry,
नशयत्सु
nashyatsu na vinashyati.
नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति.
Thank you. Okay. So now, this is what, so far what we are saying is the description up to Brahmaloka, that description is given. Now, Bhagwan is raising the bar a bit because same question, this, what is the point? Okay, again we have to take birth. Okay, even if Brahmaji goes away, etc., or if we become one with God, or do we need to come back, etc., those questions are there. So here the introduction to this bhasha, like the transition to this bhasha says, to this shloka, it says, Yat upanyastam aksharam tasya praptyu payo nidishtaha om ityekaksharam brahma ityadina. So now what is happening is that this Om iti ekaksharam brahma. So that is something that we actually studied in the same chapter, 13th shloka. Okay. So where we are introducing aksharam. Aksharam means syllable. Okay. A syllable is, in English, maybe you can equate to alphabet, which cannot be broken further, okay, which cannot be broken into further into pieces. So that aksharam. Now the chapter name is Akshara Brahma Yoga. Now Kshara means one that can be broken. Akshara means one that cannot be broken. That means what? One cannot be further dissolved, or one cannot be like, going into manifest and manifest state. Okay. So that one that cannot perish, that is also Aksharam. So that concept of Akshara Brahma is coming now. So that is what like Bhagavan is introducing in this portion. Atha idanim aksharasyaiva swarupa dikshaya idam uchyate anena yoga margena idam gantavyamiti. So now with this is the time, even though in the 13th shloka, Bhagavan mentioned Om Ityekaksharam Brahma, he did not describe what it that this Brahma Lakshana has not been described. So that is going to be described now. Okay. And what is the goal of saying this, introducing this? Because once you understand this Brahman, then you see, like what happens is that if I want to abide into a higher thing, I need to understand what am I abiding into. So that description has to be given, and that has to be given. So now here in the shloka, paraha word is used. Para means higher, upper. Okay. Now, what happened is that we are in the 14 lokas setup. We are in between at 7th. So when we are in the 7th, so that means that 8th is also higher, 9th is also higher, 10th is also higher, all the way 14th is also higher. But we also said that 10th is Swarga, up to Swarga, it is demolished every night. Okay, so it is not really higher. Then 14th is the highest possible within the realms of these 14 worlds, but even that is going to be destroyed at the end of the lifetime of Brahmaji. So when you say para, there is some other one beyond this, okay, but how is it that different? Is that also like, okay, so just like, 100 Brahmaji's lifetimes equals some other being, and at his or her dissolution, something again is happening in this way? That is a question. So that's why to answer that, it is said, Paraha Vyatiriktah Bhinnaha Kutaha Tasmat Puroktat. So that means this higher, this para, this is distinct and different from what? From whatever has been said earlier. Meaning it is different from the way Brahmaji is higher. Why? Because the word tu is used. We saw that, right? When we broke down the words, we said paraha tasma tu, right? Paraha tasma tu, right? The tu, what the tu indicates is tu shabda aksharasya vivakshitasya avyaktat vailakshana visheshanarthaha. So this word tu, the purpose of this is that, wait a minute, so far what you heard is different from what you are listening. Whatever the qualities, okay, lakshanas, characteristics that you heard about, all the way up to Abrahma Bhuvana Lokaha. So all these 14 realms, when you heard about them, the lakshana or the characteristic of this higher that we are going to talk about is different. Bhavaha Aksharakhyam Parabrahma. Why? Because this Brahman that we are talking about is Aksharam. Aksharam means imperishable. Vetiriktatve satya api salakshana prasangosti iti tadve nivrutatvaha anya iti. So So that's why, because again, like just to clarify that, when we say it is different, okay, so Venkat is different from, okay, Bharat. How? Bharat is slightly younger, Venkat is older, but in the end, they both are similar. Okay? J is different from Venkat and Bharat. How? Oh, not only in terms of age, but in terms of race. Also, he is different. Okay? These people are people of Indian origin, whereas J is Caucasian. Yet, they're all human beings. They are men. Okay? So, like that, there are certain commonalities are there, even if there are differences among us. Whereas this Parabrahman that we are talking about is completely distinct. This is no way related to whatever we have known so far. Okay? Anyah vilakshanaha sacha avyaktaha anindriya gocharaha. So this other meaning, what it also means that everything else can be experienced by our indriyas. Indriyas, pancha karmendriyas, pancha jnanendriyas, and 4 antarendriyas. So there is karmendriyas are 5 senses of action. Jnanendriyas are 5 input senses, right? Organs of perception, right? And then these antarendriyas, meaning the inner instruments, are mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, mind, intellect, memories, and ego. All of these can experience something or other. Certain things experience gross, like my eyes can perceive gross things, like a form, etc. The ears can catch some sound, and mind can think, and intellect can understand things that cannot be seen or heard. But this different, this anyah means it is different from everything, means it also means it is different and it is beyond the reach of all of these senses. Parastasmat. Okay. It yuktam. Kasmat punah paraha. Because when we said parastasma, tu, that is how the shloka started, right? It is higher than. Higher than what? Exactly. Okay. So that answer is Purvoktat Bhutagrama Bhija Bhutat Avidya Lakshanat Avyaktat. So far in the last shloka what we studied, Bhutagrama, the word that we studied. Bhutagrama means collection of beings, whether they are Stavara or Jangama, whether moving or immovable. All of those beings, what was the quality in them? They are being born and dead again, meaning like manifest and unmanifest. That's the right word. Okay, they are being manifested and unmanifested without any independence. That's what we saw. So here, this compared to that, okay, Parahatasmat, okay, what is this higher than all of those bhutas? And Brahmaji also, remember, Brahmaji, not only the bhutas were manifest and unmanifest. What happened to Brahmaji? He also was manifested and unmanifested. So this, whatever we are talking about, is higher and different than Brahmaji as well. Anyah vilakshanaha bhavaha iti abhiprayaha. So this being, okay, is different with different characteristics. So, sanatanaha chirantanaha yaha sa bhavaha sarveshu bhuteshu brahmadishu nashyatsu naminashyati. So this being that we are going to study about, this being that Lord Krishna is telling us is eternal, ancient, and does not perish even when all beings perish, or beginning with Brahmaji. Okay, so whether someone perishes or not, okay, this is not going to be perished. Why? Avyaktaha. Okay, so here tasmat avyaktat. That word avyaktat was used. Avyakta. So now avyakta means what did we say, like how did we translate avyakta? Do you recall? Avyakta we said as unmanifest. Vyakta is manifestation, avyakta is unmanifest. So now avyakta is unmanifest and yet to be manifest means what? That is Maya or Prakriti is called as Avyakta. Okay, so Avyakta at the level of simple translation means unmanifest, but Avyakta as the from Vedantic term, whenever Avyakta is used, it is referring to Maya. And then, interestingly, Avyakta also refers to Brahman, not Brahmaji, but Brahman. Okay? I keep telling Brahmaji and Brahman. You know that, and I'm assuming that you all know the difference. I just want to verify. You all know the difference between Brahmaji and Brahman, right? Yes, no?
Yes. So one question. So if I'm understanding right, so Brahma is part of Brahman, correct? We all a version of Brahman. So Brahma is also a part of Brahman, correct?
Yeah. Brahmaji is, yes. So Brahmaji as like Hiranyagarbha, who is like, is an aspect of Srishti, who is responsible for bringing us to life and ending our life. As in, like, that is Brahmaji. And when we say Brahman, that is the ultimate eternal being. Okay? So now, so far what we studied was about Brahmaji. Now we are studying about Brahman. That is what it is. So now this Brahman is also called as Avyakta because Brahman is also unmanifest. I mean, like you cannot see, because manifestation means what? There is some form or manner, okay, we are able to see, that is Vyakta. If you are in no form, we are unable to see, I mean, like we are not able to see in any possible form, then it is Avyakta, unmanifest. That's all. So whatever jivas who are yet to manifest, we are unable to see them. And this collection of jivas that are yet to manifest, they are all part of Prakriti. So hence Prakriti or Maya, Prakriti and Maya are, the names are same. So Prakriti and Maya is called as Avyakta. And then Brahman is also Avyakta. Now let's go back to the shloka, right? Once again, let's go to the word by word of the shloka. What we said, Paraha, Tasmatu Bhavaha, Anyaha, Avyaktaha, Avyaktat, Sanatanaha. See the words? Avyakta came twice. Okay. So, Paratasmatu. Okay. Other than this, okay, there is something higher. Anyaha, different. Avyaktaha, unmanifest. And this unmanifest is different from Avyaktat, the other unmanifest, meaning Brahman is different from Maya. And this Brahman is Sanatana. Okay. Sanatana is eternal. So Sanatana, eternal means what? There was never a time when he was not born. I mean, he did not exist. So always existed. So that means what? He is unborn. Because birth means what happens is that the moment we say birth, it means that there was a time when he is not born. So Sanatanaha is removing the idea that this is born. Because Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaji is always said to be firstborn. Whereas here, Sanatanaha, okay, this is unborn. Okay, unborn as in never ever, he's always there. Okay? So this is different. That is anya bhavaha. Okay, and it cannot be understood by senses because it is not an object of illumination. Okay, it is this Brahman that we are talking is pure consciousness. And because everything is lit, because of this, they cannot understand the source from because of which they exist. Okay, and because see what happens is in Vedanta Shastra. Okay, start here. Okay, yeah, in Vedanta Shastra we have 6 means of knowledge. Okay, so 6 pramanas. So pramana means to understand something, we need to have a measure of knowledge. That knowledge is, they start with pratyaksha and anumana, upamana, arthapatti, anupalabdhi, and shabda. Okay, so now what exactly they are? Pratyaksha pramana. Okay, this is accepted by everyone. I saw, okay, just for fun, okay, please don't take. Okay? I saw, okay, no, okay, it's okay, okay. I saw Pawan at an Indian restaurant yesterday during lunch. How do you know? I saw. How did you see? With my own eyes. Aksha means eyes. Pratyaksha means with my own eyes. So this is direct understanding. This is pratyaksha pramana. From all other pramanas that we are talking about are based on this pratyaksha pramana only. Okay. The next one is called anumana pramana. Anumana means inference. Inferential understanding. What is inferential understanding? The standard example we give is you see a smoke somewhere. That means what? There must be fire. Okay. So I'm not seeing fire, but on that mountain, the huge smoke is rising. That means what? There must be some forest fire or some kind of fire is there because of which the smoke is rising. So you made a logical deduction, that is anumana. Okay. Then upamana. Upamana means this is the third one. Okay, so pratyaksha, first one, anumana, second, third is upamana. Upamana is where we say that to understand something, we give an example. Okay, giving an example, and based on that example, you understand, or like you see similar things. Okay, so for example, what happened is that let's say I'm just making some thing. Every year, Ravi takes 3 weeks vacation and goes to India. Every year, Bharat takes 3 weeks vacation and goes to India. Why 3 weeks? Because that's the maximum vacation majority of the companies. Hari, who happens to be Indian by birth, is also taking 3 weeks vacation. So what does that mean? He is also likely to go to India. Why? Because we have seen Bharat going, we have seen Ravi going. So he must also be going. So this is Upamana. Okay, looking at based on an analogy, trying to find a pattern. That is Upamana. This is another means of knowledge. Then Arthapatti. Arthapatti is an interesting one. Here, what happens is, this is a refined form of Anumana. Okay, where you say that a person is, let's say a person is a little bit heavy and obese. Now, he is not eating. You don't see him eating throughout the day at all. Okay, you are with him from morning 6 to evening 10. And he's not eating at all. And you leave at 10 and like this, it's happening for a month, but he did not lose any weight. What does that mean? He must be eating at night. Okay, so coming to this conclusion is what we call as Arthapatti. So in Anumana, what happened is it is direct cause and effect. Okay, I saw the effect, smoke is the effect, fire is the cause. So wherever there is effect, there must be a cause. That is Anumana. Here you are coming into a bigger deduction. This is Arthapatti. The fifth one is Anupalabdhi. Upalabdhi means available. Anupalabdhi means not available. Okay. So this is our, okay. So today basically like we have full attendance. Okay. Now today we have full attendance, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 6 of you are there. Next week, Bharat is there, Hari is there, Pawan is there, Puru is there. Okay. Looking at these 4, what is our understanding?
Pawan is missing.
Pawan is missing, Ravi is missing. Okay. So how did I come to conclusion that these 2 people are missing? Because I found that they are missing by looking at others who are there. Okay. This is Anupalabdhi. This is the means of knowing as well. So that means even in the absence of something, you know that something is absent, something is not available. Okay. So that is Anupalabdhi. Now, Shabda Pramana, the last one, is based on hearing. Hearing means based on something that you heard from someone who is knowledgeable. So that is like whether you heard from something as in a something or someone, the source is reliable source. So for us, Shabda Pramana means Vedas or Shabda Pramana. But like, okay, if you want to simplify, right? I can ask you a question. Who is the President of United States? Do you guys know the answer? Nobody knows the answer?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Have you seen Donald Trump being the President of United States? Physically.
Yes.
Physically. Did you actually see Donald Trump as
No.
president? Then how do you know?
Elected.
You read, you saw in TV, all of those can be falsified. But you trust what you read or what you saw on TV or wherever, right? Whether it is a visual media or print media, or it doesn't matter. Either you read or you heard in radio or you saw on TV, but you did not physically see. But you saw the sources. I mean, like, you trust the sources, and do you have any doubt that Trump is not the president? No. Okay. We all know 100% that Donald Trump is the president of United States. Yet none of us saw that. We know that there is a man on the moon. Okay. We have not seen. Okay. We know there are 8 or 9 planets. We haven't seen those planets revolving around sun. Okay. We know that Earth revolves around the sun and Earth rotates. We haven't seen. Like that, if you look at our life, 99% of the things that we know are based on the Shabda Pramana, meaning like something from a reliable source that we trust. So this is Shabda Pramana. So this is how, like, these 6 means of knowledge: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi, and Shabda. So these Pramanas, they all give some type of knowledge and they make us aware of certain things. So now if you look at anything that you learned, they will fall into these 6 categories alone. But Brahman is beyond these 6 means of knowledge. Okay? Even Shabda cannot give the knowledge of Yakta. So how would I know if none of these can give, and we are saying that they are beyond Indriyas? How do we know Brahman exists? Okay.
It's just knowledge, right? We are getting knowledge. That's the only means.
So how are you getting that knowledge? Because that Brahman is none other than you. Meaning, if you close your eyes, you shut down all the Indriyas, external organs of those senses. Of course, organs of action has no means. They just do stuff, right? Hands only do stuff. They don't have means of experience. So hands or legs, etc. They just move. So you shut down all your senses, mind, intellect, and everything. But there is something that you know. What is that? I. What is this I? I exist. To understand that I exist, what kind of knowledge is required? This knowledge of any means is not needed, because I instinctively know that I exist. Okay? First of all, I exist and I know that I exist. So that I exist is Sat aspect of Satchidananda Brahman. And I am instinctively aware without any external means of knowledge that I exist. That awareness that I exist alone is the expression of Chaitanya. So that's Sat and Chit aspect. Okay. So Ananda is different, but Sat aspect and Chit aspect are there, for which none of these pramanas are required, none of these indriyas are required. Okay. And this I is going to be there, is there, whether I'm awake or asleep or dreaming, whether before birth, post birth, before death, post death, before universe, post universe, before Brahmaji, post Brahmaji, as the cause of the universe and unborn, undecaying, imperishable, without any change, that is Paraha, that is highest. Okay, that this part, the last part that I described now, is not really there, but I want to, I don't want you to be hanging there. So I want to explain this so you understand this, and then we're going to study more about this in the next shloka next week. So any questions before we close?
We have a lot of questions, but we'll cover in the next class.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you do me a favor? Can
yeah,
you write all your questions at
yeah,
least
yeah.
on your notepad?
Sure, yeah, yeah.
And if you can actually mail me those questions, as in like mail or
Yeah.
put in the group,
Uh-huh.
that would be good too. So that way, like we can discuss.
I can do that. Yeah,
Okay, that would be excellent.
sure. Yeah.
So shall I conclude then? पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Thanks everyone. Have a great week ahead, and we'll see you next Sunday.